into the ocean at the east part of the country, which is called Old Dragon Head. The Great Wall is considered the Long Dragon or Long Long, that's the name for this ancient creature. We can see the stone slabs deep into the ocean. So that's the starting point of the Great Wall.
So the actual start is built
underwater.
Really?
Under the inside of the ocean.
Really?
And then
the reason for that was
because it stopped those people from coming in from the land, coming into the country. Stop those barbarian people coming in from the land into mainland the country, and then which goes on and on to the mountain ranges for like 6,700 kilometers to the desert. The main reason why they built the Great Wall was to protect the country from those barbarian people, Mongols, Manchurian, to stop those people. And most of the Great Wall we are seeing today, and the other part of the Great Wall, they were built in the Ming Dynasty. You learn something history of the Ming.
1300s?
Yeah, 1368 to 1644. Those Ming people, they fought against the Yuan Dynasty, which are established by the Mongolian people. They drove them back to the Mongolian steppe, Mongolian desert, and then to prevent those people coming back again, they built the Great Wall.
Gosh.
But the original part of the Great Wall, or the original of the Great Wall, can trace back to like 2,700 years ago.
Yeah.
They built the Great Wall
during which emperor?
And it's called the Seven Kingdoms period.
Okay.
China was divided into warring state period. China was divided into 7 kingdoms. Those kingdoms also fight against each other, and also fight against those Mongolian people.
Okay.
That's why they built the Great Walls in central China, at the border of China too, to protect themselves from each other and from those barbarian people. And at the year 221st BC, this emperor Qinshihuang, who unified Great China and put the different
unified the 7 kingdoms.
Unified 7 kingdoms and put them together into different sections of the Great Wall together into one defensive bulwark. Who also sent an army with 300,000 people up to the border of China to build a new section of the Great Wall. And then after the completion of the Great Wall, which make it stretches more than 5,000 kilometers long, so that the Great Wall was built about 2,200 years ago. Unfortunately, that dynasty which only lasted for 15 years. There's another dynasty which was taken over that Qin dynasty, which is called Han. That dynasty continually built the Great Wall, started from Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in the west and to the Yali River in the east, covering a total length of more than 20,000 kilometers. So that is the total length of the Great Wall built in the Han Dynasty. They spent 400 years. They built the longest section of the Great Wall in China's history, but the Great Wall having undergone the nature for thousands of years. Most of the Great Wall we saw today were built in the Ming Dynasty. In the Ming, they spent more than 200 years to build the Great Wall. So with the construction of the Great Wall,
200 years to build.
Yeah, more than 200 plus years to build the Great Wall. And then when they finished the construction of the Great Wall, the dynasty was collapsed. The dynasty was over. So the Great Wall didn't work very well to protect the country from those barbarian people.
So they were still invaded by
those
whoever.
So it didn't do the job that they set out to do.
It didn't do the actual job.
No. So China, later on the Ming Dynasty was actually taken over by the Qing Dynasty. Those Qing people, Qing Dynasty, last emperor. You saw the last emperor. Yesterday you learned some story about him. So that's the Qing Dynasty. They came from northeast of China. So that's the purpose why they built the Great Wall, was to stop those people from coming in. And eventually they
came in.
Yeah, they came in and took over the whole country and started their dynasty. Okay, so it didn't work very well. Okay, Juan and Karen, the rain has stopped. We're very lucky. We'll see the beautiful sky and Great Wall now. And let's talk about the rain. I can see. Let's get started from the very beginning. It's a spitting. Correct.
When we see the very first spots of rain, the first drops of rain, we refer to them as it is spitting.
It's spitting. And then it's drizzling.
Drizzling. Correct. Or drizzle, yeah.
Okay, and then the heavier than the drizzling is medium rainfall, or what are the words for that?
It's raining a little heavier.
Yes.
It's raining a little lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, medium rainfall, as you say. Yeah, medium,
And
heavy rain. Yeah.
And now it's not heavy rain now.
now it's stopped.
And also it can be pouring.
Yeah,
which
the
means
pouring.
It's
Like when you
very
pour
heavy.
water from a jug,
Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's pouring.
And that one is the most common one, or the old saying is rains
yeah. It's raining cats and dogs.
and raining cats and dogs.
And that story comes from the traditional thatched houses where dogs and cats used to sit on top of the thatched houses because the roofs were warm. And then when it rained, they weren't aware of it raining quick enough, and they would slide off the roofs. So they would fall, so it would be referred to as raining cats and dogs.
Thank you, Carrie. So
You're
that kind
very
of saying
welcome.
originated seems like 1,000 years ago.
Gosh.
When people they were all living in that kind of like a hay
I
house.
cannot remember. I wasn't there.
I don't think thousands of years, I think 100 years.
100 years ago.
In the 1700s, 1800s, probably that originates. Maybe a little bit earlier, 1600s.
But nowadays,
maybe.
as you said, you would use it's pouring. Oh gosh, it's
pouring,
pour-
the
it's
pouring,
pouring.
yeah.
It's pouring with rain.
It's pouring with rain. It's raining a lot.
Okay, but can I say it's a bit of misty? Not yet.
No.
Not now. It's not
No,
really
because it's
misty
clearing.
because it's now clearing.
Yeah.
Because we can see the tops of the mountains. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's actually cleared completely.
And another way of saying it's raining a lot is chucking it down.
Chucking it down.
Chucking it down
Or
is raining.
throwing it down.
Or throwing it. So to chuck or throw something is to
Yeah.
throw it away. So it's chucking it down. It's like God is chucking all the water down.
This is kind of pouring rain.
Another.
Pouring, chucking
pouring.
it down. So
Yeah.
when you want to refer to
pouring,
our
I think it's nicer.
Yeah.
Okay, pouring is make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
chucking it down is more colloquial. Yeah.
Okay, and Karen, so when British people or English people, when they went to school, go to school, do you learn any phonetic symbol or grammar at school?
Now they do.
Now they do.
Yeah, they learn the alphabet A, or in all of its contexts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before, not so much. It was A, B, C, D, E, F.
But how can you when you come across a new words? I have never seen that. How can you to make sure that you pronounce that word right
Okay,
when you were
well,
young?
let's hand over to the
Well,
teacher.
I don't know how they teach in
Well,
the kids. I don't know how they teach
I'm
the
not
kids.
sure how. I think
they teach them the syllables,
The
yeah? Yeah. So
k, yeah, whether
yeah.
it's hard k or whether it's a soft ch, whether it's with whether it's soft or hard. It
they
depends on
teach
word.
the syllables, the sounds,
Yes.
the combinations
Yeah,
of the
So
the
that's
word.
a part of the curriculum when you were young at school.
A little bit like
A
that.
little bit.
A little bit like that, but it's more pronounced now. It's more focused on a lot of sounds now for teaching children.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
More now than before.
Now than before. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I think that's a good way to get you started with a new language to
Yeah,
pronounce
yeah,
that
yeah,
word.
Correct.
Like
Learning how to
correctly.
pronounce it first. Correct.
Yeah.
Especially English. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And also the grammar license. Grammar.
Correct.
The grammar is I don't know how they're teaching. I think they teach more in the same as they do with any languages now, but originally they wouldn't have taught you great depths of grammar. They would have taught you in a gradual way of speaking it, and you would understand why you're using it in that context. Yeah. But
Okay.
now it's taught in the same way as any language.
Okay. So what is the best way to get started with learning English or learning a new language? To see it, practice it, or
Of course. Yeah. Learn the basics,
learn the basics.
and once you've got a good base, the basics, then continue practicing. Yeah.
Should we start it with memorizing the new words every day?
You can.
Or the grammar? Do we have to learn grammar
I
first?
don't think the grammar is as important as perhaps, as you say, memorizing, having words that sound the same, comparing the comparative way where you say, oh, this sounds like this in my language. You understand?
Yes.
So you can relate one word, one sound with another sound in your language, and then putting those together and then practicing those. That is the best way.
Okay.
You understand? I mean, the tenses, for instance, I recommend my students to tenses or nouns or to have stickers, all over the house.
Okay,
So
sure.
you can have door.
That's right.
I'm opening the door.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
way.
closing the door.
Yeah.
The door is open. The door is closed. So you can practice like that. You understand?
Yeah. That's the way when I start to learn English.
Yeah.
I put a label everything in English.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very, very
Thank you so
good.
much.
You're
That's a good lesson.
Very
Thank
good.
you.